Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Keith. So today we're going to be practicing our major scales over some chords and work through those chord changes. But the beauty of this particular lesson is we're just going to be working with two chords and in one key, and that's the key of E. So you're just going to need to know your major scale and your diagonal pentatonic scale, and we could just get along with this whole process here and have some fun. So to start off everything, that backing track I got here was basically me on my looper pedal. I'll post a video on how I built that backing track along with this one so you can kind of build it yourself, or if I get any requests in the comments, I'll just throw a 3 or 4 minute long loop of this track on my channel. Alright, but to get things started, let's roll through what we need to know. We need to know the chords, and the two chords are an E7. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going to show you the fingering. It's an E7 to an A, straight up A. And how do we get that E7? It'll start off right here in that root note, that E. So that's your E chord. You're going to put your middle finger here on the 7th fret, and then you're going to put your index finger on the 6th fret of the D string, your pinky on the 8th fret of the G, and your ring finger on the 7th fret of that B string, and then I just do a little pluck. Then to that A, and I'm just going to do the triad, which is a derivative of this. And you can do that instead, but just to make things cleaner. Alright, so moving on from there, we have our major scale. This is the scale that we're going to be using. We're going to be using the major scale, the major pentatonic scale, and the diagonal pentatonic scale in the key of E. And I'll show you how to play those here. So right off here, we know our major scale starts here on that root E. That's 1 octave. That's our 2nd octave. Now that initial run that I did is basically just the diagonal pentatonic, which would be here. So if you take that diagonal pentatonic and you put it over the progression that I have here, you'll get something like this. But the cool thing here is that if you don't want to do the diagonal pentatonics, I would actually recommend jumping back and just running through the whole progression with just playing the major scale straight up and straight down. Let's see how that sounds, and you can kind of get a feel for it if you haven't already. Let me show you. Let's wait for this track to go over. So right off the bat, just playing the scale from top to bottom or from bottom to top, it'll sound nice because it's in that key. So you mix that in with those diagonal pentatonics and you have something that is a little more pleasant to the ear. So moving down to the bottom, or this part of the neck at least, we'll see the major pentatonic scale right here in a diagonal shape, right? It's... So that's kind of what I did there, and the latter half of that guitar solo is... Which, those are the same notes as... But you're going to get a different sound because you're playing down here instead. So if you do that up here, if you do that down here or up here, which is what I would recommend mixing it up, that's how you play all across the fretboard with these solos. You'll get different inversions and different types of sounds with it. And you can throw in your different cage shapes. But for the purpose of simplicity, we're just going to be focusing on, hey, we have our diagonal pentatonics and we know our major. Let's just put it together and practice over it. So another thing that I kind of did here was this little guy. So what exactly is that? That's all within that major scale, right? So these chords, these notes right here, are within the scale. There's that first note, and a harmonic. And here's that, moving on from there. There's that second note, and then here's that octave. It's kind of like an arpeggio that you're doing here. And if you throw that all together, you'll get something like this, right? We'll play it straight from up here. As simple as I can here, because what I'm trying to illustrate is how we could take everything that we learn in those simple scales and throwing it in there. It's a great way to practice, especially with one of these looper pedals. I would highly recommend that you get one of these and be on your way with just creating things on your own and figuring that kind of thing out. So I hope that helped. Again, the purpose of this is to show you how you could take those very simple scales and integrate them and make them kind of sound good with just these 2 chord progressions. It's a great way to practice with these looper pedals. And as I said before, I'll throw up another video and show you exactly how I made that loop. And if I do get requests to put that loop on a separate video, then I'll do that if you don't have a looper pedal of your own. But I do highly recommend that you get one. So I hope it was helpful again. Have a great day, and I'll see you later.